November 12, 1940. The sky above the North Sea was an iron canvas, thick with rolling gray clouds and the low, ominous rumble of distant thunder. The waves below clawed at the black hulls of the maritime convoys, smashing into them as though the sea itself resented human intrusion. I could feel the chill wind slicing through my jacket, but it was not the cold that pressed against my chest. It was the awareness that death hovered somewhere above. Somewhere, a shadowy shape of a bomber or fighter crept in the mist, hunting. And above it all, a single weapon had been entrusted to protect lives, to turn vulnerable aircraft into fleeting bastions of survival, the Maschinengewehr 15, the MG-15. I first came across its story buried in dusty Luftwaffe archives in Cambridge, yellowed pages filled with logbooks, technical diagrams, and personal accounts. There, between the inked letters and meticulous schematics, I felt the pulse of human fear entwined with mechanical precision. The MG-15 was more than a machine gun. It was a lifeline, and in the hands of bomber gunners, it became an instrument of hope, desperation, and sheer survival instinct. If you loved this story and want more history that shocks, inspires, and motivates, subscribe to Rising Warfare, like this video, and explore the incredible tales we uncover. More amazing content is coming, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Before understanding its operation, one must grasp why it existed. By the late 1930s, the Luftwaffe faced a fundamental problem. Their bombers were becoming larger, faster, and more exposed. Yet the doctrine of self-defending, flying fortresses, was deeply flawed. Pilots and crews were acutely aware that, in an increasingly hostile sky, speed and formation alone could not guarantee survival. Enemy fighters could strike from any angle, and flak from below added another layer of deadly uncertainty. A solution was required: a lightweight, reliable, high rate of fire weapon that could cover multiple defensive positions, adaptable to cramped aircraft interiors, and operable under extreme stress. The MG-15 was born from that necessity. Derived from the Austrian MG-30, the gun was re-engineered for airborne deployment, lighter, air-cooled, and equipped with 75-round double-drum magazines. In practical terms, this meant a bomber could be bristling with guns without being crippled by excess weight. Its 7.92 tons 500 Mauser rounds tore through fabric and light alloy skins with lethal efficiency, and its staccato roar, a rapid, almost frantic rhythm, became the auditory heartbeat of bomber defense. But numbers and specifications only tell half the story. To truly understand the MG-15 is to imagine the human experience of wielding it in the freezing, claustrophobic environment of a bomber turret. Unterfeldwebel Klaus Richter, a rear gunner on a Heinkel he 111, wrote in his log on a bitter October night over England. "The wind cuts through my gloves, and the cold bites my face. I spin into my turret, heart hammering like it will break free. I see the shadow of a hurricane closing in. My fingers fumble, numb but trained. I load the drum. I fire. Tracers whip past. The sound of the gun rattles through my bones. Each second feels like a minute. I am aware of every heartbeat, every breath. And yet I am alive, at least for now." That passage captures more than technical operation. It reveals the psychological crucible of bomber defense: fear, adrenaline, hyper-awareness, and the strange, intimate bond between man and machine. The MG-15 was not just a tool, it was a companion in terror, an extension of reflex, and in many cases, the difference between life and death. Technically, the gun was an elegant solution. Air-cooled to prevent overheating in prolonged engagements, light enough to pivot across wide arcs, and capable of firing at approximately 1,000 rounds per minute. It allowed gunners to lay down suppressive fire against agile fighters. The double-drum magazines could be changed rapidly under duress, a critical feature when every second counted. Mounts allowed elevation and traverse, though precise aiming was a complex task at high closure rates. The MG-15's operational history is a chronicle of both terror and resilience. During the Blitz over Britain, bomber streams hurtled towards cities like London, Coventry, and Birmingham, where RAF fighters awaited them. Rear gunners, gripping their MG-15s, felt the sky tighten around them as enemy aircraft swooped from above and below. The tracers flashed like angry serpents, cutting through night and fog, and in that chaos, the gunner's mind oscillated between calculated aim and instinctive survival. One RAF radar operator later recounted decades after the war. You could see them on the scope, a growing mass of black shapes. Then the flashes, red and green. And you knew someone, somewhere in those bombers, was alive only because they held a gun in their hands. And you felt it too, that chill knowing some men would not make it through the night. In North Africa, the MG-15 adapted to the desert theater, mounted on Ju-52 transports ferrying troops across endless sands. Pilots and gunners described the surreal nature of combat in heat-hazy tracers twisting through mirage, bullets kicking up plumes of sand, the constant worry of overheating machinery and exhausted bodies. Gunners endured dehydration, sunburn, and fatigue, yet the gun remained a lifeline. The psychological toll was relentless. Each approach of a fighter was a pulse of terror that ran from fingers to spine. On the Eastern Front, winter brought a different kind of psychological strain. Temperatures plummeted, icicles formed on plexiglass canopies, and the guns themselves were prone to freezing if not carefully maintained. Yet crews persisted. The MG-15, for all its mechanical quirks, remained operational when so much else might fail. It was in these moments, bullets ricocheting off the snow, swept plains, enemy fighters weaving through clouds of condensation, that human resilience was tested most acutely. The gun's presence also imposed a mental discipline on crews. Gunners learned to pace themselves, to manage ammunition, to predict enemy maneuvers, all while grappling with exhaustion, fear, and the ever-present knowledge of mortality. Pilots, in turn, internalized the balance of trust and dread. The gun offered protection, but also added weight and complexity to the aircraft. Commanders constantly weighed these psychological and mechanical factors when planning missions. Comparisons with Allied systems further illuminate the MG-15's unique niche. British and American bombers like the Lancaster and B-17 favored heavier caliber, 50 Browning and 20mm cannons, often in powered turrets with automated tracking. These weapons delivered brute force but were heavier and slower to reposition. The MG-15, lighter and faster, required the gunner's body as the guiding instrument, fusing mind, muscle, and machine in a visceral symbiosis. This reliance on human skill amplified both stress and agency. A gunner's decisions directly determined life or death outcomes. Allied pilots, too, recounted the psychological weight of facing the MG-15. Tracer rounds ripping past the fuselage created a tangible sense of vulnerability. Even a near miss carried a haunting resonance. The sound of bullets whipping through air, the shudder of impact, and the knowledge that every encounter could be fatal. In many ways, the MG-15 functioned as both a physical and psychological weapon, projecting fear as much as metal. By the final years of the war, as aircraft and aerial strategy evolved, the MG-15's role diminished. Jets, heavier cannons, and guided munitions rendered it obsolete. Yet its legacy endures not in headlines, but in the quiet, harrowing experiences of those who lived and died with it. The gun's story is not only about technology, it is about the human mind under extreme duress, about split-second decisions, trust in machinery, camaraderie among crewmates, and the enduring instinct to survive. Standing again in imagination on the wind, lashed deck above the North Sea, the cold pressing into my bones, I can hear the MG-15's rapid staccato, as if echoing through time. Every pulse of fire carried a story of fear and courage, every empty drum a testament to the fragility and strength of life at the mercy of mechanical and human forces alike. In the end, the MG-15 may have been forgotten by popular history, overshadowed by larger caliber guns and jet-age weaponry. But in the realm of human psychology, it remains a profound study, an artifact of ingenuity, fear, and resilience. For those gunners who gripped its cold metal in frozen turrets, the MG-15 was far more than a gun. It was a heartbeat, a shield, and sometimes the very essence of survival itself.